Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some stuff to get straight away into here in this episode today. Call it a temperature check. The community is kind of going crazy. So, seeing that basically everything that's being talked about inside the Brawl Stars community here these last couple days is about that ranked blog post that came out a few days ago, which we managed to make a video on. If you didn't check it out, or if you haven't heard, you're under a rock, make sure to get updated on it because crazy stuff is coming. But since then, I wanted to wait a few days. Seeing that this channel typically talks about current events and stuff that's happening, it's hard not to talk about anything else than what's happening here recently with the changes that were announced. So after waiting a few days, it feels like I got a general vibe of what the community is kind of talking about, and I'd like to kind of get a little discussion going on here in this episode today as well. So to kick things off, this is basically what's been talked about these last few days here. Brawl Stars kind of being on fire as the community usually is when stuff like this happens. But one day ago, the Gadget rework, don't take this seriously. Brawl Stars meta after the Gadget rework, they forgot how to balance the game. Just pandemonium, chaos, craziness. The meta might look like this, guys. It's funny to think that the Gadget rework that was announced in the blog post was just one of like 4 or 5 bullet points of significant changes coming to the game, which was kind of at the bottom of the blog post. And I think it's going to be the biggest change that comes to the game. Very excited about ranked, which we'll get into all that good stuff and what the community is saying here in this episode today. But the Gadget rework is crazy, and I don't know if a lot of people are like taking it as that. Initially, when I first read about it, I was really hyped up, and I still am. I'm always excited for significant changes to the game and seeing how it feels. But there's also other opinions out there that I've been seeing, much like Pika's most recent video here, where he puts out some really valid points that got me a little bit nervous that I didn't necessarily think about when I first read the blog post. Make sure to check it out for yourselves. Love Pika. But to kind of summarize, the major point that he's really worried about is the fact that there's so many different gadgets in this game, and seeing that the cooldown aspect of the infinite gadgets on every single brawler is kind of a way to balance the game. The actual game itself and the gameplay might be very unbalanced when this update drops. The last time we've had like game-changing abilities come to the game, of course, were hypercharges. And I know gadgets have been in the game for a very long time, but they also have an impact on how we play the game and how brawlers literally interact in a significant way. And when it comes to these updates with new abilities coming to the game, a lot of the time they roll it out very slowly. Like another perfect example, hypercharges. Every single update getting like a handful, 6 of them. I'm sure there are a lot of reasons why they do that to keep the hype going. They can't like design 88 different abilities at once and stuff like that. But another thing that it is very good for is balance. I'm sure we can all remember a set of 6 hypercharges coming out, and one in particular is just like ravaging the meta, and then it gets balanced and it's a little bit better. Now with this change to gadgets, I got a feeling it's going to feel a lot like that, kind of a new way to play the game and new abilities. Even though they're already existing abilities, seeing that we can use them an unlimited amount of time for different durations out there, I got a feeling it's going to change the way brawlers are being played in the game to a significant degree. Just like some scary ideas coming to mind, like for example, something kind of strong but maybe overlooked, like maybe it's not a great example, but the stun gadget from Dynamite. You're only able to max use it 4 times per game. And seeing that you only have 4 use cases, sometimes you would manage your resources in a certain way to be able to utilize them in a good way, or you know, a lot of randoms out there just spam them out like crazy. But man, could you imagine if they overlooked this gadget being like phenomenal and they gave it like a 15-second cooldown time? How many gadget stuns there would be out there. And again, there are 88 different brawlers, 2 gadgets for each of them, so there's a lot of these gadgets that need to be balanced, and I just got a strong feeling that things aren't going to be balanced for a while. This person ended up making a prediction of the cooldown times for each gadget in the game, which is kind of a nice bouncing pad for our next point that I wanted to make before we actually get into this. And that's the fact that if you guys didn't read the blog post, the minimum cooldown time is 7 seconds on a gadget and the maximum is going to be 30. Now, I know if you have like an efficient team comp, you got good players on your team, you can really get a game done with pretty dang fast. But we've all been in those games, like those long-winded bounty matches that definitely go the 2-minute mark, or the Brawl Brawl Ball games that go into OT. So if you really look at it, in games or situations like that, even those 30-second cooldown timers for really good gadgets out there, you still should be able to get 4 use cases out of it, or even like 5 in Brawl Ball. And then it also gets me worried about even like less significant gadgets out there. A good example, I don't know if Shelly's dash gadget will be every 7 seconds. It is kind of a lackluster one, but in a 2-minute match, if you were able to use this every 7 seconds, it's like, would it actually be good then? These are the things that I'm like a little bit worried about. It's like the minute things. It's like there's some gadgets that we never use, but on a 7-second cooldown timer where you can get like 15 of those things in one match, will it be good? And I don't think the dev team will be able to know that right away when implementing this. So I guess I'm just kind of a little bit nervous about what the meta is going to look like when they drop this. I got a feeling it's going to be pandemonium. But taking a look at this really cool concept here and a template that I would love to see other people making because it's fun to look at. And that is based on how good the gadget is, what would the time be? These predictions are pretty dang cool. Starting off with one that I think was an error, but like I said before, if they do this, I'll freak out. Dynamite, I think they flip-flopped them, but fidget spinner, 30 seconds, bro. I need that thing on like 10 seconds. That thing, it's not that bad, okay? It's not that bad, but the stun being 11 seconds, bro, they must have flipped them. Can you imagine? Dynamite would be S tier, best brawler in the entire game, getting like 15 stuns a game. But then it's super, super funny seeing some of these. Obviously, it's not going to be, but like basically, if a gadget comes out when the rework drops and it's 7 seconds long, that's BrawlStar's stamping that gadget as like really, really bad. But yeah, that Gus one, the heal ghost one that I don't think I've ever played with, 7-second cooldown. Ash's rage one, 7 seconds. I know it's definitely not as good as the heal one, but believe it or not, I really enjoy using that rage one to kind of like close the gap to get the speed increase. I don't know. The Griff one, 7 seconds, and seeing a lot of the 30 seconds ones are really cool. The discrepancy of Sam's, this guy, 30, literally the max and the least. Oh goodness. But yeah, man, really looking forward to this change. Little nervous, but excited. It's always fun to tackle changes in the game and see how it shakes things up. We'll see. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you excited for the infinite gadget change? Or are you a little bit nervous, much like me? And I think a lot of people are in the community as well. But moving along here, some more discussion going on. I know this is just a meme, but I guess it brings up a valid point. Supercell in 2029 after adding a new paid Brawl Pass to the game for the 837th time. Raking in that dough, baby. I don't know. Are you guys kind of nervous for another pass in the game? I'm kind of looking forward to it, to be completely honest. And I think it's not so frowned upon to have paid passes anymore in games. I know there was some pushback at a time in Brawl Stars, but when they added the new Brawl Pass, there was a tiny bit of pushback, but then kind of received pretty well overall. I'm guessing this one is going to be received pretty okay as well, seeing that each time they've added a new pass system that's paid for, the free benefits have always gotten a buff, which this is going to be the case this time around for ranked 2. The free rewards are going to be way better for free-to-play players, and you don't necessarily have to. But I guess there's that looming sad feeling that even if you are free-to-play, you'll know that you're missing out on some progression that others are able to get by spending money. So it's always that debate. It's always that dilemma. What are you guys thinking? Moving along, moving along. Why you already hating on it? Dude, it do be that way. Gadget rework will break the game. Brother in C. Wait for it to get addressed before you hate. I think the Brawl Stars community does this quite a bit whenever new things come to the game. There's always this like wave of craziness before we even are able to test it out. But I guess it's valid, you know, being nervous, getting discussion going on when big changes come out. I partake in that, right? And seeing that this time around, we're getting a lot of information way in advance. It's even more scary, you know, like brewing up, you know it's coming, but we don't know what it's going to do to our game. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's been too bad this time around. I know people are worried and stuff like that, but I think it's more that rather than just like, we don't want this. Oh yeah, bro. Oh my goodness. With all this worry that's been going on about gadgets, it's hard to remember that there's a lot more cool stuff coming to the game, much like the pro ranked skins. Not only is it awesome that like concept creators out there have another thing to like make awesome awesome concepts for, much like this one. An amazing pro skin for Tick here. But in general, I am really looking forward to this. I think this is my favorite change coming in this update to ranked. It is just a huge motivator to play the mode. I've enjoyed and dabbled in ranked several times. I do enjoy it quite a bit to take it a notch up in competitive gameplay. But bro, just having another motivator to play it, I'm going to be playing the crap out of ranked to level up Colt, that skin. Can't freaking wait. We only have one, and I already know I'm going to want to collect every single pro skin and level them up to max, you know? It's so funny since the blog post came out. It's like, that's the only thing that we're focusing on. But again, like we've said a few times now here on the channel, there should be a significant Hypercharge related thing coming out in this update. The Brawl Stars dev team wants to have every single brawler having a Hypercharge before June, and I believe 33 different brawlers need them, so maths don't add up to get 6 every single time, so we'll see. Very likely that we're getting more than we usually do in this next update, but love posts like this, Hypercharge predictions for the next update. For Bo here, Minefield, his super leaves 2 more mines on the ground. I guess that'd be pretty good. Maybe a little bit lackluster. For me, at least, I feel like I only get like 1 mine to proc when I'm playing Bo. And then once everyone knows it's there, it's like triggered and wasted. Or they don't even get procced and you get your super so fast that you throw it out and the last ones were wasted. So I think that could happen quite a bit where you'll have 5 on the ground, but you'll just get your super back and people know that they're there. So you'll just waste it. I don't know about that one, but this one, dude, is absolutely broken. These spawner hypercharges are so scary sometimes. Penguin Army, his porter base spawns 3 robo porters at once. That's crazy. There would have to be like maybe a 1 use case where like it spawned out a bunch, maybe not 3 every single time, which I don't know if that's what that would be. But could you imagine the way that you want to play Mr. P is putting that robo porter station in a spot that isn't going to get hit. So you just have porters coming every single something seconds for the match. But could you imagine 3 of them coming out every single something second? It'd be like Eve's, but like way worse because Eve's is a single use case. But this would just keep going. That would be pussy. It would be the best Hypercharge in the update. This one, super shots, a second beam for Mandy there. Kind of lackluster, I think. But getting into the, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited to see what they do with Chester. And I kind of like this idea as well. During his Hypercharge, he charges 3 random supers to use individually. So just chucking out, could you imagine popping that Hypercharge and you have 3 supers to use out of his set? Getting lucky and get like 3 nukes, just like the explosion ones. That'd be crazy. I would love that. But yeah, Chester's really looking forward to and just seeing what ends up happening with Hypercharges in this next update. Really looking forward to it. Moving along into more like, I would say more topical stuff away from the update craziness going on here. This guy says, I will gladly take a free Hypercharger too, but man, this event is cursed. Literally the same thing I was saying when I first saw this going down. When we are getting free stuff, but we have to choose who Bo kisses? Confused docs. You guys know my motto now at this point, or you should. Free is always good, baby. I will never complain about a free Hypercharge, some free coins every now and again. I mean, come on, it's awesome. But yeah, dude, it's just so funny how they like ended up going about it. But again, this event's free rewards are really good. We more than likely are going to get 2 Hypercharges and doubling up all the other free stuff. And that's awesome, dude. Hey, 2 free Hypercharges saving 10k coins on your account's progression. That's great. Whenever I come across this post in particular, I've seen this idea for a quality of life feature for Brawl Stars so many times, but every time I'm like, please, it would be so good. Having an aim bar for Fang's shoe. It's so bizarre not having it. And I think it's the only like somewhat long range projectile in the game that doesn't have it. I don't know if that would be hard to implement or anything like that. Actually, it shouldn't because we have really wacky ones, much like Nani's, you know what I'm saying? So this shouldn't be an issue. Man, that'd be so useful. It's really hard to get down. After you play a few times with Fang, you kind of get the general direction where the shoe is going to go and you can line it up just fine. But man, is it a lot harder to get down without that bar. And I think they designed it for a few more. Gene, I don't know if it would be that important just because you just spam out the shots. But I guess, yeah, on brawlers like Grom, that'd be nice having those lineup bars. But Fang in particular, bro, we need that Fang. Moving along, I ended up coming across this one and I thought it made a ton of sense. What if Hank's bubble was able to reveal enemies in bushes? I would love that, dude. Seeing the fact that that with Hank, you show yourself in bushes when you use your basic attack. They can just see a random bubble going throughout the bushes. I think that'd be a fine trade-off. Just Hank in general. Call me like an inexperienced Hank player. I just find this brawler so dang hard to pilot. He's just so crazy hard to play. To all you Hank mains out there, I applaud you if you play him actually good. Well done. It's a bizarre brawler. I forgot about this. There was a monthly finals yesterday, 2 days ago when you guys are watching this video, but they ended up adding that freaking Edgar meme. If you guys follow the cool kid trendy zoomer memes out there on TikTok and stuff, all that good stuff. But the flying Edgar meme troll face, bro. The BrawlStar's dev team, hey, they're caping up at the times, man. They're on the zoomer wavelength. Bunch of trolls, bunch of memers out there. Gotta love it. I've been seeing some of these posts pop up from time to time. People getting gifted a Brawl Pass. Oh, and he's playing Clash Royale. I didn't even notice that. What the heck? The post said, do I accept it? I've been seeing this, and I don't know if it's actually the case, but if you do see a Brawl Pass being gifted to your account at random and you don't know someone who's sending it to you, I would not accept it. Again, I don't know if this is happening to a lot of people or anything like that, but we have this post that I saw this morning just scrolling through Reddit, -billion gems. Petition to make Brawl Pass Plus that are donated or gifted unredeemable to avoid account grifters. I guess this is kind of a thing. If you didn't know, if you end up redeeming a purchase in Brawl Stars, the gems are removed from your account. So say you buy a $10 170 gem offer and redeem it, your account will have a 170 gem negative balance. But the Brawl Pass in particular is insane, seeing that it's based on the actual value of all the stuff that you're getting on the Brawl Pass, not just the $6.99 or whatever that you're purchasing. It's everything included. So people getting like -2,000 gem balances. So if this ever happens, PSA, just want to make sure your guys' accounts are safe. If you get it from someone who you don't know, I wouldn't redeem it. Just ignore it, okay? I think it would be nice if the BrawlStar's dev team made them unredeemable. I didn't know this was happening, but it seems scary. The last one, it's funny how they made a game mode available in the Valentine's Day challenge with the unfinished banner and nobody talked about it. I didn't even notice it, bro. The Brawl Ball Hockey 2v2 Puck Man had a gem grab background. That's so funny. It's the little things that are kind of goofy from time to time that keep me coming back to Brawl Stars, I swear to gosh. But yeah, man, I wanted a little bit more of a chill episode here today, just kind of taking a look at what the community is having to say after a little bit of like me taking a look at what the community is saying over the past few days over the blog post and getting a general vibe check. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you looking forward to the update? Are you nervous in any particular way? Just want to see some good discussion in the comments down below. See what the general community, or at least my community, is thinking here. But yeah, either way, seems like it's going to be a pretty dang hype update. That's for sure. A lot of crazy stuff happening. The first time we don't get a collab in like a while, and it's nuts. The changes to the game are crazy. But yeah, dude, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all, and we'll be talking super soon. Adios. Take care.